One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. Chad Phillips, the VP of Learfield Licensing Partners, is on One Question, and I wanted to reach out to Chad with the news last week of the NBA moving from a home and away uniform combination to now every organization, every team having 4 uniform, quote-unquote, editions, which I think plays interesting from a licensing standpoint, from an apparel sales standpoint. And I'm interested to start this conversation, Chad, with how do you think that plays in the collegiate marketplace, and could it create kind of a domino effect where now some college brands are going, hey, we'd love to move in this direction, whether it be for sales potential and driving increased revenue dollars, or simply we know the incessant interest in putting eyeballs on a brand for recruiting purposes. Where do you see that going, and how could they play into each other?
Well, I think Nike's track record following their debut of the NFL jerseys a couple years back and their eventual takedown of those jerseys and that silhouette to college would indicate that they would probably follow a similar path with the NBA to college. And in reality, a lot of the technologies and fabrics that Nike has used are adapted across the different sports. And I think even their development in college over the last several years probably led to some of the innovations we'll see in the NBA jerseys. So, I would expect that Nike will bring the new NBA enhancements to college and likely introduce them to their elite teams at some point in the next couple of seasons. And really, the other brands, will have their own innovations. Some will adapt and follow, some will create new. But ultimately, it will benefit college. I think, as you alluded to, there's opportunities from a recruiting perspective, as we've seen in college football and also in basketball. These new technologies and looks and fits are really influential in the recruiting side of the business, but also really impact consumer and fan interest. So I think what's neat about the additions is Nike has kind of repackaged something here, like they often do, but they're appealing to traditionally what was called home and away, or called the association and the icon. So really appealing to the league and the heritage of the school. But what is newer is there's 2 versions, one called the athlete's mindset and one called the community, that will appeal obviously to the players and also some hyper local kind of cool things that I'm sure they'll draw inspiration from. And I think that plays with the fans, into a variety of segments, people interested for different reasons in supporting the team, from fashion to local. So I think we will see significant impact that will eventually influence college, and we'll just take some time to see how that plays out.
Is it safe to say that brands who have relationships with Adidas and Under Armour, not that Nike is setting the market or controlling from a response standpoint what those 2 brands do, but we'll probably see kind of the same developments?
Yeah, I think so. I think, like I mentioned earlier, each company is bringing new technology and innovations to the marketplace. Nike has been a leader over the years, but there have been some interesting developments and some cool technology coming from Under Armour and Adidas as well. So I'm certain we'll see more from them as well.
What about from a standpoint of jersey sales or uniform sales, if you will? How do sales in the NBA compare to those in the collegiate space? Obviously, we have a lot of folks moving away from specific numbers from the student athlete likeness standpoint, but are we talking the NBA sells 20 times more jerseys than collegiate sports at scale, or is the number closer than that? Where does that fall?
Well, on the NBA side, as far as leagues in the U.S., it is the highest percentage to total merchandise sales. I don't have that figure in front of me. The only exception would be soccer, and particularly international soccer, where the jersey kit is predominant. But in the NBA, the basketball jersey is extremely important to the merchandise mix. And as you probably know, college football replica jerseys lead the way in the college license space. But what has been interesting to see is over the last couple of years, there has been an uptick in basketball jersey sales. And I think that will continue, especially with this. A lot of it's been on campus with, college kids, particularly college men, adopting, NBA hardwood classics, throwbacks, and also, that trickling down into some of the college looks. You probably, if you attend a summer music festival, you'll see a surprising number of college and NBA replica jerseys among the folks at the concerts.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.